If you haven't heard of the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, then there's a good chance you also own a flip phone and use dial-up, because it's impossible to get on the internet and avoid the unhinged dispute between these two celebrities. The Depp vs. Heard trial is everything reality TV wishes it was. It's witty and dramatic and remarkably shocking.
Human fecal matter.
But with all the internet buzz surrounding this case, we understand that it can get confusing to keep track of it all. So, here's everything you need to know about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. Background. The focus of the trial is an op-ed that Heard published in the Washington Post in 2018. In the article, Heard wrote about the backlash she received as a woman who publicly spoke out in regards to the domestic abuse that she received from Depp. Although she never used Depp's name in the op-ed, he is suing her for defamation and seeking $50 million in damages from Heard. Heard countersued for $100 million, alleging Depp defamed her when one of his lawyers called her abuse allegations a hoax. Heard's claims of physical abuse. In court, Heard testified about several violent episodes in which Depp was under the influence of drugs or alcohol. She said the first act of physical violence occurred in 2013, recalling that he slapped her 3 times one day after she laughed at one of his tattoos. Heard testified about several other instances of physical abuse, including one particularly nasty instance where he headbutted her. Heard's lawyers presented evidence backing up these claims in the form of cell phone photos of Heard with bruises on her face. Depp's counterclaims to physical abuse. Depp disputed Heard's claims, stating that he has never hit a woman in his life, and that the headbutting claim was a result of Depp and Heard accidentally bumping heads when he was trying to defend himself after Heard attacked him. Depp's legal team called in an expert to inspect the photos that Heard presented in court and found that the photos were manipulated in some way according to the embedded data in the file. This proved that Heard had no substantial evidence that supported the claim that Depp had physically abused her. Other evidence. As the case continued, Depp presented claims that Heard was the aggressor in their relationship. Depp stated, "It could begin with a slap, it could begin with a shove, it could begin with throwing a TV remote at my head, throwing a glass of wine in my face," when describing how she would instigate arguments. And Depp brought forth plenty of evidence that proved Heard's provocative nature. Fecal matter in the bed. Of all the examples brought to the trial, the most infamous was the fecal matter in the bed story. After allegedly being punched in the face twice, Depp left the house to get away from Heard. Depp was going to return to the house, but was warned not to because she had left him a surprise. A picture was presented in court of this surprise, which was fecal matter that was left on Depp's side of the bed. But this evidence was merely a childish prank compared to some of the other evidence Depp presented in his defense. More evidence in Depp's defense. Depp also presented pictures of scratches that Heard left on his face in late 2015. Apparently, Heard had come at Depp viciously with her nails after an altercation. He was then able to produce audio recordings of Heard admitting she had hit Depp.
Tell them Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, man, I'm a victim too of domestic violence. And
Yes.
He also says, "Tell people it was a fair fight and see what the jury and judge think. Tell the world, Johnny. Tell them, Johnny Depp, I'm a victim too of domestic violence, and it was a fair fight. And see if people believe or side with you." At this point, things aren't looking great for Heard, and she only makes them worse by lying in court. Heard's attorney claimed that she had been using the Milani Cosmetics Conceal Plus Perfect All-in-One Correcting Kit palette throughout her relationship with Depp in order to conceal signs of abuse. The cosmetics brand Milani came out on TikTok and commented on the evidence, stating that while the alleged abuse was around 2014 to 2016, the product she presented wasn't released until 2017. Heard's claims of sexual abuse. Heard refused to give up, though, as she brought forth a testimony that became the focal point for much of the trial. Heard claimed that Depp had sexually assaulted her in 2015, while the couple was in Australia for the filming of the 5th Pirates of the Caribbean movie. She testified that Depp was under the influence of MDMA and accused her of sleeping with actors in her movies. In a jealous rage, Depp hit her face, forced her onto a ping pong table, choked her, and ripped off her nightgown. She continued, stating that Depp sexually assaulted her with a glass liquor bottle. The altercation ended with Depp writing profane messages in blood on the walls. Depp's counterclaims to sexual abuse. Depp immediately denied using MDMA in the instance in which Heard described, stating that he has only used the drug 6 or 7 times in his life. He continued denying Heard's allegation that he had taken 8 to 10 MDA pills that night, adding that he was sure he'd be dead if he did so. Depp, who denied sexually assaulting Miss Heard, said his finger was cut when she hurled a vodka bottle at him. Heard, who said she took sleeping pills after the assault, says she was not awake when Depp's finger was cut. In cross-examination, Depp's lawyers pressed Heard about her lack of medical records to back up the allegation of assault. In the minds of the legal experts who spoke to NBC News, Heard's lack of documentation backing up the alleged assault can be interpreted in at least 2 ways. If the jurors think that they would have sought medical attention, but she didn't, they may not believe that testimony. But if they understand that this is a Hollywood couple, and maybe they don't want the world to know anything that was happening behind closed doors, and Amber may have been full of shame, then the medical records won't be as important to them. Conclusion. Even though the evidence is overwhelmingly in favor of Mr. Depp, the trial isn't over yet. We've been shocked with twists and turns throughout this entire case, and Amber Heard might still have something up her sleeve. If you want to see more coverage of the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial, leave us a comment down below. Be sure to like and subscribe to this video so that you don't miss out on any future news involving the case that continues to keep us on the edge of our seats. We can't wait to see what happens next.